Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Economics with Saad Kareem. Our today's topic is perfect competition in monopoly. That is market forms as well. Now, what is perfect competition? Which is the opposite of imperfect competition. In economics, the term market structure refers to the key characteristic of a particular market. These features include the number and size of firms in the market, the degree and intensity of price and non-price competition, and the nature of barriers to entry. The two extremes, market structure in economics, are perfect competition and monopoly. So again, the two extremes are perfect competition, and on the other side, if you are going to look into जो दूसरी extreme है वो monopoly की है. The model of perfect competition describes a market where there is immense competition. A real world example in the wet markets, fresh food markets commonly found in Asian countries such as Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan, and Macau. Or in Pakistan, we have a sabzi mandi or the vegetable market. That is a perfect example of the perfect competition where there are hundreds of the buyers. So it is immaterial for the seller where he or she is going to buy. The main characteristics of a firms in perfect competition are as follows. There are many buyers and sellers in the industry, none of which has any significant market power to influence the market supply or demand. तो कोई भी अगर जो buyer या seller जो है वो चला जाए तो is going to be insignificant, you know. So since it's a very large market, hence firms are said to be price takers. The price they charge is determined by the market forces of demand and supply rather than firms setting their own prices, and they will be the price taker. They cannot influence the price, so they have to take the market price as it is, since there are so many hundreds of the buyers. As there are literally no barriers to entry in perfect competition, there is a free freedom of entry to an exit from the market. Anybody can enter, anybody can exit, so there is no, say, no stoppage, no barrier, no hurdle. Firms produce a homogeneous products. This means that the products being sold are identical, such as bananas or strawberries being sold in fresh fruit markets. Whether we buy potato, whether we buy bananas, anything, it is immaterial which thilawala are we buying in. So it is going to be the same one. It's not going to have any difference whatsoever. Both buyers and sellers have perfect knowledge. This means that customers and firms have ease of access to information about the product and the prices being charged by a competitor. So these are the characteristics of, say, perfect competition. And especially the last one, when it's a perfect knowledge. So if we Google out, so we have all the prices of the product. So both buyers and sellers, they have the perfect knowledge. However, perfect competition is a theoretical possibility only, and the reality in the vast majority of markets are imperfect. For example, most of the markets, if you are going to look into other than that, the vegetable market or the sabzi mandi, but most of the market are going to be opposite of perfect competition. This is what we call it imperfect competition. Now, in most industries, there are market leaders, those with a high market share, who have significant power to influence the market supply, hence prices. An example is Apple and Samsung, which dominate the tablet computer industry. Hence, the firms are price makers or price setters rather than price takers. Makes sense? Because they, since they are dominating, they are the pioneer, Apple and Samsung. Whether it's about the tablet or it's about the smartphones, they set the trend. Second, in reality, barriers to entry exist in virtually all markets. For example, there may be legal entry barriers to some industries, such as the professional qualifications needed to practice law in medicine or the high set of costs to enter other markets, such as the airline or pharmaceutical industries. So barriers to entry exist all the markets. So whoever comes in, competitors give hard time to the one, either by having more competition, more marketing, or by reducing the prices. Consumers and suppliers are likely to have imperfect knowledge rather than perfect knowledge. This means that customers and rival firms do not have easy access of information about the products and the prices being charged by competitors. For example, mobile phone network providers use very confusing prices packages for their services. Similarly, banks offers a variety of interest rates charges for their various types of loans. Okay, so this is how it is. Thank
Assalamualaikum, sir.
you. वालेकुम अस्सलाम. बेटा माइक जो है वो म्यूट कर देना. तो firms are likely to produce differentiated products rather than homogeneous ones. For example, sports apparel firms such as Adidas and Nike are
Hello.
branding. जी माइक आप म्यूट कर देना कि
Assalamualaikum, sir.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम. माइक बेटा म्यूट कर दो आप. रिकॉर्डिंग चल रही है. Firms are likely to produce differentiated products rather than the homogeneous ones. For example, sports apparel firms such as Adidas and Nike use branding, different products, designs, colors, and slogans to differentiate their products. Many successful and large businesses develop memorable slogans, catches frame as a form of product differentiation. Now, what we studied so far, have a little wrap up so that it will be much easier. We are doing market structure. In the market structure, हमारे पास दो चीजें हैं, perfect competition and monopoly. These are the two extremes. One is perfect competition and one is monopoly. So this is the example of the perfect competition. In Pakistan, Karachi, we have the Sabzi Mandi. That is the example of the good example of the perfect competition. So, perfect competition, what are the main characteristics so that it will be easy to understand what is perfect competition? Main characteristics of a firm in perfect competition as follows. The business in perfect competition, there are many buyers and sellers in the industry, just like in the Sabzi Mandi, none of which has any significant market power to influence the market supply or demand. So there are hundreds of the buyers, so it is a material that they cannot influence the market. Hence, firms are said to be price takers. The price they charge is determined by the market forces of demand and supply rather than firms setting their own prices. As there are literally no barriers to entry in perfect competition, there is freedom of entry to and exit from the market. Now, next is firms produce a homogeneous product. What does that mean? No matter कहीं से भी हम जो है जो पोटैटो लें या बनाना लें या कोई भी चीज़ लें, टोमेटो लें, तो इट इज़ ए मटेरियल कि we can buy from anywhere. So it is going to be indifferent. This is why it's called homogeneous product. We cannot say Pepsi or Coke, Samsung and Nokia. This is the example of imperfect market. But in homogeneous products, fruits and vegetable are the example of homogeneous products, same product. Homogeneous means same. This means that the products being sold are identical, such as bananas or strawberries being sold in fresh fruit markets. Both buyers and sellers have perfect knowledge. This means that customers and firms have ease of access to information about the product and the prices being charged by competitors. So both buyers and sellers have perfect knowledge. They know how much the price of the tomato, how much the price of the tomato is. However, perfect competition is a theoretical possibility only, and in reality, the vast majority of market are imperfect. ज़्यादातर जो market होती है, वो सही बात भी है, imperfect होती है कि उसमें product differentiation advertising के through कर देते हैं. और if you are going to look into these are the examples of the imperfect market, जो कि opposite है जो हम पढ़ के आए perfect का. Imperfect में क्या होता है? In most industries, there are market leaders, those with a high market share who have significant power to influence the market supply and hence prices. An example is Apple and Samsung, which dominate the tablet computer industry. Hence, the firms are price makers or price setters rather than price takers. In reality, barriers to entry exist in virtually all markets. For example, there may be legal entry barriers to some industries, such as the professional qualifications needed to practice law and medicine, or the high setup cost to enter other markets, such as the airline or pharmaceutical industry. So, कोई भी नई मार्केट में अगर जो बिजनेस आएगा तो उसको जो है कंपटीशन मिलेगा, ठीक है। चाहे वो जैसे जोंग आया था तो वारिद की जैस और यूफोन की तरफ से उसको कंपटीशन मिला था, एंड सो ऑन। अब हम पढ़ रहे हैं ऑपोजिट ऑफ परफेक्ट कंपटीशन, जो कि इम्परफेक्ट मार्केट है। कंज्यूमर्स एंड सप्लायर्स आर लाइकली टू हैव इम्परफेक्ट नॉलेज rather than perfect knowledge. This means that customers and rival firms do not have easy access to information about the products and the prices being charged by competitors. For example, mobile phone network providers use very confusing pricing packages for their services. Similarly, banks offers a variety of interest rate charge for their various type of loan. हमें नहीं पता होता कि ये जो वारिद जैस और यूफोन और टेलीनॉर के इनके हिडन चार्जेस क्या होते हैं, और वो जो है हम आसानी से जो है उनकी जो है ट्रैप में आ जाते हैं। Firms are likely to produce differentiated products. ऊपर था homogeneous products, same products. यहाँ पे क्या है, differentiated products rather than homogeneous one. For example, sports apparel firms such as Adidas and Nike use branding, different products, designs, colors, and slogans to differentiate their products. Many successful and large businesses develop memorable slogans एज अ फॉर्म ऑफ प्रोडक्ट डिफ्रेंशिएशन। हम देखें तो जो ये जो स्लोगन्स बना के जो है अपनी प्रोडक्ट डिफ्रेंशिएशन करते हैं या एडवर्टीजमेंट्स के थ्रू कर रहे होते हैं। अब जैसे नाइकी है और या फिर मैकडोनल्ड्स है, आई एम लविंग इट, ठीक है। यहाँ पे एग्जांपल देख लेते हैं, इम्पॉसिबल इज नथिंग बाय एडिडास, BMW द अल्टीमेट ड्राइविंग मशीन, ठीक है। माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वेयर डू यू वांट टू गो, नाइकी जस्ट डू इट, okay, McDonald's I'm loving it. So these are some of the examples that they can have the product differentiation, so that you know which product are you using it. For example, a chocolate with the red, we know it's a Kit Kat, okay. And this is the example of price and output policies in perfect competition. And we know that whatever we studied, there is a demand and supply thing, and here we have the demand and supply thing as well. Let's check it out. देखते हैं इसको। A high degree of competition in a market can benefit consumers. This is because they get good quality products and good customer service, all at the right prices. In addition, competition brings about greater choice, higher output, and more competitive pricing. Okay, if you are going to look into, the prices are going to get down, and this is one of the reason quantity are increasing from Q1 to Q2. As we can see that a shift of the supply from S1 to S2. Increased competition shifts the market supply curve outward to the right. This causes the market price to fall from P1 to P2, thereby causing the quantity demanded to increase from Q1 to Q2. So this is what we have the perfect competition say. Now there is a monopoly thing, opposite of the perfect competition, and we have the monopoly of Karachi Electric. This is how they are monopoly, or the Coca-Cola. There are different interpretations of what is meant by a monopoly. Mono means single. एक की बात होती है, जब एक मतलब mono means single. In general, a monopoly is a market structure where one supplier dominates the market. Example are Coca-Cola, YKK, Zip, Popular, or we have Microsoft, one of the example. A pure monopoly exists if only one firm supply the whole market. In the USA, this would include the United States Postal Service. Pakistan, may we have KE, Karachi, and just like I told you, and Coca-Cola and Pepsi are the only, there are like two companies that they are there, okay. Now let's see. The word the word monopoly comes from the Greek language, which means monos, meaning one. Hence, monopoly can be defined in a market structure where there is only one supplier of a good or service. Microsoft enjoy a monopoly position, just like I told you, single supplier. As its name, and we have a office very close to our school as well. So, that is the and Sui Southern Gas Corporation. Again, they are the monopoly, which is called the natural monopolies. Single supplier, as its name suggests, a monopolist is the sole supplier of a product in a given market. This is due to high barrier to entry, which result in lack of substitutes. Price maker or price setter. द मोनोपोलिस्ट है सिग्निफिकेंट मार्केट पावर, वो खुद ही प्राइस सेट करेगा, वो प्राइस मेकर कहलाता है। और जो प्राइस एग्री कर जाते हैं वो प्राइस टेकर कहलाते हैं, ठीक है। The monopolist has significant market power, controlling enough of the market supply that it can charge higher prices yet produce lower output than would be the case if it faced real competition. सिंगल सप्लायर होगा, प्राइस मेकर होगा, इम्परफेक्ट नॉलेज होगी, बायर को पता नहीं होगा कि भाई उसकी क्या प्राइस होनी चाहिए। जैसे कि हमें केई के रेट नहीं पता होता है, उसका जो दिल चाहता है वो केई बिल लगा के भेज देता है। A monopolist is able to protect its prestigious position because customers and rivals have imperfect knowledge, partly as a result of the monopolist's ability to protect its trade secrets. High barrier to entry. If you are going to look into high barrier to entry, a monopolist can remain to so only if in the long run there are very high barrier to entry. These obstacles effectively prevent other firms from entering the market. Examples include economies of scale, existing firms, ownership of essential resources, the existence of intellectual property rights, namely patents, trademarks, and copyrights, एडवर्टाइजिंग एक्सपेंडिचर एंड लीगल बैरियर टू एंट्री। ये सारी चीज़ें क्या बताई हैं कि इस इनके थ्रू, क्योंकि इतना डिफ़िकल्ट होता है एंटर होना, इनकी जो है यहाँ पे इन्वेस्टमेंट करना, क्योंकि बहुत बड़ी बड़ी बिजनेस होते हैं, जैसे कि कई की एग्जाम्पल दी, कोका कोला का इतना बड़ा प्लांट लगाना, उसके लिए आपको हाई सेटअप कॉस्ट चाहिए, तो हाई बैरियर ऑफ एंट्री होती है। बैरियर कहते हैं हर्डल को, तो उसमें हर्डल आ जाते हैं। देखते हैं प्राइसिंग एंड आउटपुट पॉलिसीज इन मोनोपोली, हाउ द ग्राफ इज गोइंग टू बी। Due to the lack of competition, the monopolist is able to restrict market supply. This is shown in figure 13.2 by the shifts in supply from S1 to S2, which reduces output from Q1 to Q2. Alternative, we can say that supply would be higher at S1 in the absence of monopoly power. एक मिनट के लिए you have to wait. Okay, pricing and outward policies in monopoly. Due to the lack of competition, the monopolist is able to restrict market supply. This is shown in figure 13.2 by the shift in supply from S1 to S2, which reduces output from Q1 to Q2. Alternatively, we can say that supply would be higher at S1 in the absence of monopoly power. As the monopolist limits the supply of its goods or services, the price is higher at P2 rather than P1. Take few minutes, look at the graph. तो इफ यू आर गोइंग टू लुक इनटू, अगर हम यहाँ पे देखें कि S1 S2 हमारा जो क्वांटिटी है, क्वांटिटी जो है कम हो रही है, एंड दिस इज वन ऑफ द रीजन कि आपकी जो प्राइसेस जो हैं वो बढ़ रही हैं कि P1 से P2। ओके, तो मोनोपोलिस्ट आर आल्सो एबल टू यूज प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन। दिस इज द प्रैक्टिस ऑफ चार्जिंग डिफरेंट प्राइसेस टू डिफरेंट कस्टमर्स फॉर एसेंशियली द सेम प्रोडक्ट। फॉर एग्जांपल, public transport operators, theme parks and cinemas charge students different prices compared with other adults. Another example often used by supermarkets. आवाज सही आ रही है मेरी?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है। So another example often used by supermarkets is price discrimination based on the quantity sold. For example, supermarkets who buy multi-packs of a product usually get to enjoy a lower prices for each unit bought. This discriminates against those who buy in smaller quantities. तो मोनोपोलिस्ट है वो प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन करेगा। फॉर एग्जांपल, हम केई की एग्जांपल दें तो केई कमर्शियल से अलग रेट चार्ज कर रहा होता है सेम इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का, और जो रेजिडेंशियल है उनसे अलग चार्ज कर रहा होता है, ठीक है ना। तो दिस इज वन ऑफ द एग्जांपल कि एक ही जो प्रोडक्ट है, एक ही जो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी आ रही है, उसके डिफरेंट रेट्स पे चार्ज कर रहा है। कमर्शियल अलग हो जाएगा, रेजिडेंशियल आपका अलग हो जाएगा, ठीक है। Now, other pricing policies might used by firms include जो कि हमने बिजनेस में भी देखा था कि मार्केटिंग मिक्स जो है हमारा, ठीक है, कॉस्ट प्लस प्राइसिंग है. दिस इन्वॉल्व्स वर्किंग आउट द एवरेज कॉस्ट ऑफ ईच यूनिट ऑफ आउटपुट and then adding a certain amount of certain percentage on top of earned profits. Market business है, economics है. This is the advantage of studying both, that both are very related and there are so many topics that they are similar. Common है आपके business में भी और economics में भी. For example, if the cost of producing a commercial airplane is 1,20,000 and the firm wants 100% profit margin, the selling will be 2,40,000, whilst cost plus pricing is easy to calculate. The price setter must ensure that the chosen price is still competitive. ठीक है, तो जो है कॉस्ट प्लस प्राइसिंग जो है वो यूज़ की जाती है मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम. अगर हम देखें तो जो आपके रिटेल आउटलेट्स हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल वी हैव इम्तियाज़, Hyperstar, Chase. So they use the cost plus pricing, looking into how much competitors are charging. And then we have one more strategy. This is we also covered in the business, that is called marketing mix pricing. तो competitive based pricing, competitors को देख के फिर आप अपनी जो है प्राइस सेट करें. फॉर एग्जांपल, if we are going to launch a bread, so we are going to look into how much the Dawn and Bake Parlor are charging. So this occurs when a firm sets its price according to the prices being charged by its rival. This allows the firm to be competitive in terms of price, but also means it may need to rely on non-price factors to maintain its market share. For example, many airline companies will set similar prices for their flights but choose to compete on other aspects of their service, such as baggage allowance and so on. I gave you example about it. For example, Allpers and Milpac are having similar prices, Tapal and Lipton or Vital, and same is the case as I told you about the bread, that they are having similar prices, Coke and Pepsi and so on. Now then we are having other pricing strategy called penetration pricing. When you keep the pricing low, this involves setting a low price in order to enter a new market. This pricing policy is often used by firms when launching new products in untested market in order to gain market recognition and market share. It can help to give a product competitive edge. Okay. Then we are having loss leader pricing. This happens when the price is set below the cost of production, thus making a loss in the short run. And then we have supermarkets often use loss leader pricing for some of their products, such as toilet tissue or carbonated soft drinks, in order to attract more customers to buy other products sold at the supermarket. ठीक है, तो लॉस लीडर प्राइसिंग क्या होती है, जो बिलो द कॉस्ट कर रहे होते हैं ताकि जो है दूसरे बिजनेस जो है वो नुकसान उठाते रहें और बंद हो जाएं, और जब बंद हो जाएंगे तो उसके बाद फिर इनकी जो मर्जी, ये ज़्यादातर मल्टीनेशनल्स कर रही होती हैं, ठीक है, और फिर बाद में जो है दे चार्ज लाइक 200 300% मोर फॉर दैट वन. प्राइस skimming. This pricing policy involves a firm setting a initially high pricing in order to maximize profits and to recover its pre-launch costs, such as marketing and R&D, research and development. Price skimming is often used when selling new innovative products with few, if any, substitutes. The price is continually reduced or skimmed as competitors enter the market to launch rival products and compete for market share. तो प्राइस स्कीमिंग यूजली वेरी हाई प्राइस, जैसे बाटा और सर्विस है तो वो तो इतनी हाई प्राइस नहीं होते, लेकिन एडिडास और नाइकी का है उसकी हाई प्राइस होगी. सिमिलरली हम देख लें तो BMW, मर्सिडीज, ऑडी, उनकी एज कम्पेयर टू टोयोटा एंड होंडा, वो जो है लग्जरी कार्स जो है वो प्राइस स्कीमिंग यूज़ करती हैं. Other examples are Rolex and Armani. प्रमोशनल प्राइसिंग दिस कॉमनली यूज, जबकि हमने ये देखा था कि प्रोडक्ट लाइफ साइकिल पे भी जो है वो मेच्योरिटी पे कि हमारी जो प्राइसेस जो है वो प्रमोशनल प्राइसिंग होती है. दिस इज कॉमनली यूज प्राइसिंग पॉलिसी, और ये हम सारी एग्जांपल इम्परफेक्ट मार्केट की दे रहे हैं. परफेक्ट मार्केट जो है सिर्फ और सिर्फ जो है वो वेजिटेबल या फ्रूट मार्केट में, लेकिन 99% ऑफ द जो है मार्केट होती हैं वो आपकी imperfect market होती हैं. This is commonly used pricing policy involves firms temporarily reducing their prices to attract more customers. Promotional pricing can be used to clear excess stocks when a product is being withdrawn. from the market or to boost demand for products in a new market. So this pricing policy is often used to encourage a brand loyalty when customers stick to certain brand due to their personal preference and can thus increase the firm's market share in the long run. So this is why we studied perfect competition, we studied imperfect competition, and we have seen different pricing strategies. So we end our class here. Inshallah, we are going to resume with the same. First, we are going to have a little review, and inshallah, then we are going to conclude. So take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.